We're here with Andrew with his deck from the 2018 Louisville Regional. Tell us what you were playing.
I was playing True Draco
Yeah.
with a little twist.
With a little twist. Okay, let's get into the deck profile.
First of all, Standard 2 Masterpiece. Really good boss monster. Fun fact, you really do not need this thing to win. I actually won several games where I've actually banished both of these and not won without it.
Oh, wow.
It can basically make you immune to whatever you need to at the time. Has pop on destruction during either player's turn. Really good card.
Yep.
The MVP monster-wise, 3 Maidens.
Maiden.
When your opponent would activate effect during your player's turn, you can add 1 True Draco or True King monster from your deck to your hand. So usually you search Ignis or Masterpiece. And you can easily search another copy of her and then summon multiple copies and then beat them down to death.
Yeah.
1 Ignis, because unfortunately that's all we're allowed to have, but he searches your spells and traps, allows you to...
spells only.
Spells only. Well, yeah, why did I think? Dynamite Fighter,
Yeah.
sad face.
Yeah.
The thing that didn't really help me today, but it helps everybody else, but this thing is stupid. I'm on Watto. It's called no hand traps, no pendulum boards. I basically say you can't do anything while I'm going crazy.
So the Monowato Raigeki trick, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just I didn't main Raigeki. This card is stupid. Now, I really want to see this limited, but knowing Konami, they're just going to scapegoat something else. Okay, so that's it. 9 monsters. Pretty standard. On to the spells. 6 copies of Dragonic Diagram, basically.
Yeah.
Diagram is one of the key parts of this deck. Allows you to search basically your entire True Draco engine by popping and generating huge advantage. Making your tribute to summoned monsters immune to battle once per turn. 300 attack. So, yeah, really, really good. So, yeah, nothing much to say about that. 3 True Draco Heritage, which at the worst is a Pot of Greed, a searchable Pot of Greed, and anytime it allows me to do additional normal summons, which allows me to keep my combos going and keep board presence. So, yeah. Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix, which basically is a Daigusto Emerald, allows you to return 3 True Draco/King cards back to the deck to shuffle and draw 1 card. Allows you to get additional normal summons, pops back row. And the fun fact is it can recycle itself, so as long as you don't banish multiple off desires, you can constantly refuel your deck. And this is what we're going to call Card of Demise, which is the most stupid card in this deck. It's an inherent +3, and it just generates stupid advantage. And the fact that you can't special summon doesn't matter because this deck doesn't special summon. So, 3 Card Demise. I wish I wasn't bricking this 3 times, or 3 copies in one game was stupid, but it is what it is. 3 Pot of Duality, just again, more consistency. Don't special in this deck so the drawback doesn't hurt you. You can use this to bait out the pendulum boards because they're not going to more than likely negate this. And then if you reveal a Mono Watto, they're basically screwed at that point. So, fun fact to pendulum players, if you fight this and they use this, negate the duality. Because if they reveal the Mono Watto, you're basically going to have your whole board wiped.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
2 Pot of Desires, just yet again, more draw and consistency cards. All day, that day, never hurt me. Every time I banished it, I was fine with what I banished. One time I banished 3 Maidens and 2 Masterpieces and still won because they couldn't summon monsters.
Oh, wow.
And the other copy of Desires, which was nice. And this is one of my spicy techs. I took an idea from the winner of Salt Lake City with maining 2 Cosmic Cyclones. You have Pendulum Magicians, or Pendulums, which are very good, if this is good against. You have True Dracos, which are good against. ABCs, you banish their parts. It's like, there's almost nothing this can't hurt. So, I decided to main 2 of it instead of side it, so I'd have an advantage against the mirror match in Pendulums Game 1. Really helpful. Just wish I'd have saw it more often. So that's it for the spells. For the traps, 3 True Draco Apocalypse. One of the more stupid cards in the deck. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can blow up 1 True Draco or True King card you control to cut all the opponent's monsters' attack in half, including in damage calc. So, not only do you pop all their stuff and make their attack lower, you can also, if you destroy a spell or trap, you can take something along for the ride with it.
So, did the half the attack ever come up throughout the day?
Yes, it did. Against an ABC player, they tried to slam 2 ABCs into me, and I was able to blow that up and they killed one of their ABCs in battle.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't get rid of the other one, though, because they weren't dumb enough to attack again, unfortunately. And then one of this, which due to a little secret tech I had, I ended up playing this a lot more and wanted to see this a lot more often. It's basically a Call the Haunted on steroids once per turn. It allows you to continuously generate resources, like bringing monsters out to tribute or whatever, so yeah. A lot of times Desire banished this, though, so I didn't see it as much as I wanted to. More Pendulum Hate, 2 anti-spells to only find Pendulum Magicians once that whole day.
Oh, wow.
But this had a lot of good moments. So I was able to shut down an ABC player. The one Pendulum matchup I did fight, and I was able to shut down a 60-card deck with it.
So, are you running the stun variant that everyone else with Monarchs Erupt, or no?
No, I'm not, and I'm about to explain that in a minute. I play 2 Rivalry of the Warlords because Pendulum Magician players will make these huge-ass boards, and then you flip this on them, or on their Electromite, and they're ground to a halt. True. Because their extra deck does not play Spellcasters, or Psychics for that matter. So once they go Electromite, they cannot Pendulum summon because all their monsters are Spellcasters. True. Also, what was the other matchup this was really good against? Oh, the 60-card decks play a lot of different variety of monsters, so this actually kept a zombie player at bay. In fact, this cost a World Chalice player his game because he couldn't get rid of it.
Oh, really?
Yep, because he couldn't get rid of it. And then Skill Drain just because this deck wants to say no. Now, this is probably where the controversy is going to come in. I actually play an extra deck in this one.
So, you're going off of 6 Hands build?
Yes, he had a lot of good points. Now, would I do that variant again? No, because I never ran to the mirror match, which was what I was expecting. But he did have a lot of good points. That Monarchs Erupt is actually really dead in the mirror match. And with Salt Lake City, I expected a lot more people to switch to True Draco, which means Erupt would have been dead. So I found another card that worked just as well while lowering doing other things. So basically, Electromite, Link Spider, Seraph Knight, Lapis Lazuli, Starving Venom, ABC, Dark Law, Macabre, Dante, totally awesome. Basically say no to every extra deck in the game. So, no Magicians, no Trickstar, 60-card, FTKs, ABCs, Invoke, Burning Abyss, Paleo. I basically just said no to everything. Obviously, because I play Ghost Ash I'm so horrible. Ghost, Reaper, and Winter Cherries in the side deck. Now, for the non-targets I did, is since I was using True King's Return, I had 4 level 5 monsters I can use. So I played 1 Volcasaurus to do extra damage, and one of my spicy techs, number 14 Greedy Saramea.
So what does this card do?
While this card's on the field, any effect damage you take would be inflicted back on your opponent instead. So if you summon this against a Trickstar player, instead of burning me, they're going to be burning themselves.
Oh.
So, yeah. Gaia Thundercharger, just yet again, because after you use Vulcan Source, in theory, you're supposed to go into him after you use his effect so you can do more damage since he can't attack directly the turn he uses his effect. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Also, since Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is a tuner, I played 1 Omega.
Oh.
And just because I won despite that this deck hates this card, I used this because this deck usually hates this card, so I thought I'd play it in this deck since Winter Cherries is a dark tuner. So, and I actually did go into this once against an ABC player, and I'd already Ghost Reapered all of their ABC busters, so they had no way out to it.
Oh,
so.
wow.
Yeah, so that's the extra deck, 15. Yep. So the side deck, as I already mentioned, 3 Winter Cherries. I actually sank with this once and used its effect in the same duel. This was mainly for basically any matchup that had an extra deck I didn't care for. Mm-hmm. Along with 2 Raw Spear modes for the Pendulum Magician matchup.
Did you ever use that?
Yes, actually. In fact, I used these 2 in the same turn against the Pendulum Magician player. They made their board, so I Raw Spear moded their board first, and then I Winter Cherries the rest of their Electromites because they got a little stingy with their Electromites, and it cost them the game because of it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that was mainly for Pendulum hate, as was Dark Hole and Regeki, pretty self-explanatory. So now for my True Draco sides was 2 Zephaons. In theory, you don't want to destroy the spells and traps, so you just shuffle them back to the deck. Mm-hmm. She's undestroyable, and I can't take battle damage, so I can basically slam into anything I want, and all their back row and their field spells going to go bye-bye. So, yeah. Only fought the True Draco in the very last matchup, and this didn't do enough, So, one of the MVPs today, probably the most MVP, and I'll have to give credit to my friend Johnny for these, were 3 evenly matched. Most people rarely resolve this once in a tournament. I end up resolving this 5 times throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
One of them against a perfect linked World Chalice player. They had perfectly linked, and I used it to break their perfect link. And then flipped Rival of the Warlords on the 1 firewall they kept alive because they couldn't do anything afterwards. So, yeah, so good. Why is this thing at 3? It needs to go to 1 people, and anybody who says otherwise, well, yeah. No. So, and then obviously, to counter the evenly matched was 3 Imperial Iron Walls, and I also put this in there to counter 60-card decks because they like using Mizukis and banishing for dinos a lot, so unfortunately, one of the 2 60-card decks, I sided 3 of these in and opened all 3 with nothing else to do with them. So, yeah, that kind of hurt, so. Yeah. But every other time I saw this, it ended up shutting players down. It shut an ABC player down, so I was pretty happy with that.
So, throughout the day Saturday, what was your record?
I think I ended up going. I think it was 3-4-2. I don't know.
I thought it was 3-4-3. Or
no.
3-3-3. No, 3-3-3. Yeah.
No, I lost my last match.
Oh, you lost it? Oh.
I lost the last one to Draco.
Oh.
One of my biggest fails safes of that day was that I kept opening up multiples of things like this. I opened up 3 of those in my opening hand 3 times throughout the day.
Ouch.
This twice.
Yeah.
One time, and this was my worst moment of the day, where this was my opening hand. This was like a really beautiful opening hand.
Oh.
And it was like, what else I have? Oh yeah, that was my opening hand. My next card was in a mono. No, it wasn't that. My next card was in a mono Wado is what it was. That was my next card. So I draw into this, and they flip not Imperial Order. I was basically screwed.
Dang.
I couldn't play.
Couldn't play any
Nope.
of that.
So yeah, my day
Wait,
just didn't do well.
Couldn't you have chained Cosmic Cyclone?
No, maybe I didn't have Cyclone. I know it was these 5. Maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't Cyclone. Rush me again and see what happens.
But yeah.
No, it was it was that. There we go. Yeah, so that's what it was. I know
Okay.
that would have made no sense. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
Right.
that's
Well,
basically the deck profile. I probably wouldn't do the Reaper engine again. As much as it was nice, I did not see that deck enough, and there was several times I wish I had Monarchs Erupt over it.
Okay.
So that'll be it for me today. See you guys later. Team Jodwins Andrew signing out.
Alright. Well, this was Wayne with the camera, and here with Andrew, and yeah. We'll see you guys later.